How mitakuye pi na mitakola tanyan yahi pi neonchimaka kodas kolas misukalas ki mikanotiwah la nikniwan ipaninto tlali inin yolkati meno yolokohpa kwakni michita. Come fellows to this space that we talk and open to express the truth. Today we're gonna touch on the surface and a little bit in depth about the origin, the cosmic origin, the origin of all indigenous tribes in Mother Island, in Turtle Island, American continent. What gives truly sense to the native languages by understanding where they really come from. What's the true origin of the languages that we speak as native people? We could speak different native languages in order to understand the insight. It carries a vibration that wakes up a memory, and a spiritual memory of our spiritual lineage or heritage and where we truly come from, and that's where we touch today. Tunkachinas, which are LP or Yate, the star people, the star teachers, respond to an ancient lineage that in central Turtle Island, on the umbilicus we will call known as Nawal Mekayotl. It was kept for long generations, the sacred knowledge, the sacred teachings, for the lineages to keep the fire alive. For the Eagle people, the Eagle clans known as Petao Keshni, to maintain that fire alive it was the importance to maintain alive the tribe, the identity, the resonance, the color, and through the language. It was kept for long generations for Hopi people, for Sunni people, for Pueblos people. Now in the actual times, the original teachings began to be forgotten. Some of them are losing the original context of how it was told for long generations ago, for us to keep it alive for those times where it's going to be needed to put it out there. It was told for White Bear, Hopi Elder, who has been kept the sacred knowledge of the Tunkachina people that long time ago in the continent of kasskara. Continent of kasskara is what some people understand as Lemuria. It was a big continent that was floating in the Pacific Ocean. And there was also another continent, a neighbor continent, separated by a big river on the Atlantic Ocean. The difference between both civilizations or continent on that area is that the people of the Atlantean were more developed technologically, and their mindset was much more the kind of conquer and logical intellect, lovers of intellect. And the people of Lemuria were more spiritual. So our origin as Indios of America, of the Americanos, was not even America. Indios de America comes from Lemuria. According to White Bear, what happens in Lemuria is that there took place a beautiful empire of cosmic lineages that there were kept in there, where the Tunkachina people, which are LP people, came to teach what the Eagle nations we will call, which are LP Wichohan, which are LP Makan, which are LP Wichohan, the star teachings that understand the lineage of Indian people on Turtle Island. What happened in there, and I will share it, that it was told and kept for our elders. There was 4 segments that understands the Makawichahelipi Wichohan, the star teachings. The first segment, or the area of learning for the Tunkachina teachers, was the clans, the tribes, and distribution. The second segment of learning was the plants, animals, and ecosystems. The third one was human psyche and human spiritual nature and potential. and the fourth was the creator and the magnetism on the cosmos, or the cosmos and the magnetism of the creator. So that's the four segments that understand the star teachings. What happened is that in the continent of Kasskara, there was a confrontation between the people of the Atlantean continent with kasskara. The Atlantean came to try to conquer, to invade, to dominate on kasskara. And the people of kasskara find the need to move. But what happened in there is that the ships were above the areas where all these lineages were kept and receiving the teachings. And the flying shields, as the Hopi described them, as the Sunni were told before, emit certain fire when they move fast in a fast distance, but they were not seen as divinities or as gods. They were seen as elder brothers who came to teach us how to evolve, how to grow up in a more clear understanding about who we are. So the meaning of the word Tunkachina means the venerable wise ones. See? So these big shields protect their lineages. The importance to preserve the lineages from long time ago is to keep holding that genetic intelligent pool from those who came here to expand the consciousness of the Creator. What happened is that those flying shields of fire shields, moved to the areas that we know in the actual times, as Mount Shasta and Tiwanaku in South America, and that was because there was a flood that took the continent underwater. The first continent to go down was Kasskara, or Lemuria, and the second one that went down the water was Atlantia. And that's because the Atlanteans had certain technology that affect the stratosphere of the planet. And that brought a big change, a climatological change, and the conditions of life changed really quickly. But that also was an activation from the atomic energy that the Atlanteans were developing. They were also assisted for cosmic beings. And all the different continents around Mother Earth hold certain cosmic lineage genetic pool. So they move our heritage as Indios, moved to South America, to the area of Tiwanaku, where nearby is Titicaca Lake. According to White Bird, that area was baptized for the Tunkachina people as Tautoma. Tautoma was the name given to that new area where the star teachings were going to continue to spread their star seed and expansion of that lineages. So what happened there is that they moved to the area of Machu Picchu, to the mount of Machu Picchu, to receive the teachings, and then they came back, or they were taken. And according with our elders, the Wichaheli Pio Yate were always looking out for their people, for their lineage. They always helped them when they were needing help. They always came down to help them and assist them in order to preserve that lineage. So there was a big flood that came into that area of South America, and that's why we have in the actual times the Atacama Desert, because there was big water that came into that area and also took some lives with it. And the conditions of the weather change and push to the clans that were moving in there, and the Tunkachinas, to take the decision to move far southeast, and then they display to the area that we know in the actual times as Yucatan Palenque or Ciutan Palenque, and there's the place where the teachings continue, and this continue.